Good morning and welcome to the Millionaire Mindset Book. Today is Thursday, the 4th of January 2024, and we are on chapter 4, fourth day, fourth chapter of the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. And um, chapter 4 is entitled Success is Your Duty, right? And Grant Cardone starts this chapter off by talking about, he said, one of the greatest turning points of his life, he said, occurred when he stopped casually waiting for success to happen and instead started to approach it as a duty, an obligation, and a responsibility. Right? He said he literally began to see success as an ethical issue, a duty to his family, his company, and his future, as opposed to something that might or might not happen. Right? Success is his obligation. Right? And so, if you ever go to his store, you can buy. And I have a poster. Right? I have a poster, and that's what it says. Success is your duty, your obligation, and your responsibility. Right? You look at this as something you're going to do or not. Right? And this is 100%. This is 100% a mindset thing. Right? A mindset thing. You think about all of the things that are in your control, things that are in your control and out of your control, and so he puts success into that in your control category, right? Remember that it's not a one. Success comes. It comes gradually, right? There's no such thing. There's no such thing as an overnight success, right? I mean, you say it's my obligation, I'm going to be successful, but that doesn't mean that you're going to wake up tomorrow morning and ta-da, right? It doesn't. It doesn't happen that way. I was just talking to somebody yesterday about the book that we did before this, right? The book that we did before this, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, and this is. It is the seemingly insignificant, the small, seemingly insignificant things done consistently over time that lead you to success or to failure, right? Because the slight edge principle works both ways. But in Grant Cardone's thing is just to turn it around and say that, you know what, this is, I'm going to be successful, right? Treating success as an option, he says, if you say, well, maybe I'll be successful and maybe I won't. If you treat it as an option, he says, this is one of the major reasons that more people don't create success for themselves and don't live up to their full potential, right? So you ask yourself, how close are you to your full capability? Do you even know? In some cases, you probably don't know that, I can do this. I can still achieve more. I think I can still achieve more. I believe. I say think. I believe that I can still achieve more. The question is, am I working towards that? Right? Sometimes we don't. If you really, really sit down and think about it, you might not like the answer that much. There are things that are in your control that you're maybe not doing, right? And I'm not judging, right? I'm not judging. I'm just saying that when I was in the Army, there, in order to get promoted at certain levels, in order to get promoted, there's a point system, right? You things that you do earn you points. Some of those things you have control over. Some of those things you do not, right? Things like getting a medal, getting an award, right? Awards are worth points. You don't have a lot of control over that. Somebody else has to put you in for the award, and etc. But some things were 100% within your control. Like, for example, your physical fitness test, right? When you did a physical fitness test twice a year, and your score on that physical fitness test could earn you promotion points, right? The maximum score you could get on your physical fitness test was a 300, right? And so if you got a 300, you got the maximum number of points allowable for physical fitness. And let's just say it was 50, right? And so, and another thing was college credits, right? I take college classes, and college classes got you, a certain amount of points. And so when I was complaining, right, that I didn't have enough points, to get promoted, well, one of the questions that was asked of me was, what did you score on your physical fitness test? If it was less than 300, right? If I didn't max out my physical fitness test to max out my promotion points, whose fault was that? Right? And I hated that question, because I didn't max out my promotion on my physical fitness test, and I hadn't maxed out my my college courses, right? And it wasn't until I said, you know what, this is 100% within my control, but I hated it. They asked me the question, and then you have to look back at yourself, right? And that's what Grant Cardone is asking you to do here. He's to look back at yourself. How close are you to operating at your full capability, right? If you don't consider success to be your duty, your obligation, then you may not live up to your, if you don't consider it your duty to live up to your potential, you simply won't do it, right? You probably won't do it. You're gonna, and I am absolutely not saying don't take vacation and that kind of thing. But when you're working, when you say you're working, are you truly working, right? Are you being productive, or are you just being busy, right? You hear that all the time. How are you today? Oh, I'm busy. Yeah, busy at what, right? I think it's Warren Buffett that says he's never, a truly successful person is never busy, right? You schedule what you're going to schedule, and you do that, right? When you say you're busy, it's an indication that you are not in control of your calendar, right? Not in control of your calendar, what you do. So one of the things that Grant Cardone tells you, quit lying to yourself. You can lie to everybody you want to, right? You can lie to anybody that you want to. You can justify anything. I didn't get this done because, but is that truly the reason you didn't get it done, or is it a lie to yourself, right? People will tell you that all the time, right? They'll tell you that success is valuable, that it's important to them, but then when you look at what they do, not so much. You can tell by their calendar, right? You can tell by their calendar how committed they are to success, right? Oh, well, he's just lucky. He's just lucky. Well, luck is a byproduct of taking action, right? You ever hear that? The harder I work, the luckier I get, right? The more successful, when you're successful, once you're successful, the more successful you become, right? As long as you continue to move forward, and you continue to have that mindset that you're going to be successful, right? People create momentum, this magical momentum, by hitting their goals, right? And we're going to keep on moving, right? The best time to get an appointment is when you just set another appointment. Right? So, and then Grant Cardone says too that we can take this the harder I work, the luckier I get thing to the next level. He said that if you can do that, if you can be successful and be successful and be successful, now it becomes more of a habit than anything else, right? It's more of a habit. Doing the things you need to do, those seemingly insignificant things done consistently over time, um, becomes a habit, and that leads to success. And then success becomes a habit, right? Again, he goes back to the fact that there is no such thing as an overnight success. If you follow Grant Cardone at all, you know that all of a sudden, it seemed like he was everywhere. And it was a result of doing those things consistently over time, getting in your face, right? The number one thing that one of the number one things, and this is something that comes from Grant Cardone, that causes real estate agents to not be successful in the industry is obscurity. Nobody knows who you are, right? And people think about being, I don't want to be too pushy, right? I hear that, when we talk about follow-up and stuff. I don't want to be too pushy. You have to be relentless. You have to be relentless in your follow-up. You have to be relentless in your ability, in your attempts to contact somebody. And that doesn't mean be relentless once you talk to them. But relentless in your pursuit, right? If somebody reaches out to you and says, "Hey, I have some interest," then it's up to you to get a hold of them, right? It's up to you to get a hold of them. If you don't get a hold of them the first time, it's up to you to call them the second time, or to reach out, or text, or whatever mode of communication you're using. But there is no such thing as overnight success. It always comes as a result of your earlier actions. The things that you are doing today, the closings that you, and again, I'm relating this back to the real estate industry, but the deals that you have in escrow, the people that you are showing houses to today, the listing appointments that you have today, are all a result of the things that you did 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 10 months ago, right? They are, for the most part, never the result of something that you did today, right? So those small things, no matter how seemingly insignificant they are or how long ago they were taken, are what result in what's happening today. And the things that you're doing today, that ads that you're running, the phone calls you're making, the appointments you're setting, all of that that's your business in the future, right? Not today. Success comes about as a result of mental and spiritual claims to own it, right? You have to attract it, right? You have to use the law of attraction. But it comes about as a result of those claims to own it, followed by taking the necessary actions over time until it's acquired, right? It's having the right mindset. It's having that mental mindset of attraction, right? Followed by those seemingly inconsequential steps, those necessary actions taken consistently over time. I cannot emphasize that enough, right? But it all starts with the mindset, right? In the Slight Edge, Jeff Olson calls it attitude, right? Your philosophy, right? It starts with your philosophy. Your philosophy leads to your attitude leads to your actions lead to your results lead to your lifestyle, right? So the philosophy that you've got to get ingrained in here first is that success is your duty. It is your obligation. Today, I'm going to be successful, right? Today, I'm going to be successful. And that doesn't mean I'm going to close a deal today. It means I'm going to pick up the phone, right? It means I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to do those things that I need to do to be successful in the future, right? But 100%, it starts with your mindset, right? If you If you tell yourself, oh, nobody's going to want to talk to me today because it's cold outside, right? It's winter time in El Paso today. I don't know what the temperature is going to be, but Doppler Dave said it's going to get cold, right? And it's going to get cold for the next, 4 or 5 days. Then winter will be over. If you're in El Paso, anyway. No, if you say I'm not going to be able to do that today, then you're not going to be able to do that today. Get it in your head, make that mindset. Remember that this is 100% controllable by you, regardless of whether you like to hear that or not. Right? It's 100% controllable by you. What are you going to do today? Right? Today, I'm going to be successful. Right? And what I would like for you, what I would hope for you, right? I don't have control over you. You have control over you. Is that you would get out there and make today the best day of your life so far. And we'll see you on today's Thursday. We'll see you on Monday right here, Millionaire Mindset Book Club. The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. Have a great weekend.